All right, we've spent the last few parts of this series digging into the pretty serious dangers of subscription IT. Now, in our final installment, we're going to pivot. It's time to stop talking about the problem and start talking about the playbook. We're diving into the concrete solutions from the Virtualization Options LLC report to see how we can actually fight back.
Okay, before we jump in, a quick but really important note. This is it, the last part of our 5-part series. And while we've covered a lot, you gotta remember, this is just a quick look at what's in the full, detailed report. And as always, please keep in mind this isn't legal advice and it doesn't come with any kind of warranty.
So, what really happens when a critical subscription just stops? It's not some minor IT headache. It's more like a digital domino effect. And as we're about to see, those dominoes fall right into the real world with some pretty scary consequences.
The very first domino to get knocked over is the technical one. I mean, look at this. We're talking about an immediate loss of access. Management consoles, gone. Key features get shut down. Some systems might even just automatically power off. And to make matters worse, you're completely cut off from security patches and any help from the vendor. You're flying blind.
And those technical glitches don't just stay in the server room. They spiral out fast into major national-level problems. Think about it. Emergency communications going dark, financial systems grinding to a halt, even power and water getting disrupted. The real cost here? It's the public's trust in our most basic institutions just evaporating.
And this right here is a really crucial point. A subscription failure isn't just a technical outage. It is a wide open door. It's basically putting up a giant welcome sign for hackers, giving them the perfect window to hit you when your defenses are down and you're at your most vulnerable. Okay, so the stakes are obviously incredibly high, which leads us to the big question, right? What's the game plan? How do we actually start building a more resilient system? Let's get into the playbook. And this is where we get to that playbook for resilience. The great thing is, these aren't just vague ideas. They are real, actionable strategies that organizations can put into place, like right now, to start pushing back against these risks. So, the report really boils it down to 4 key strategies. First up, multi-vendor redundancy. Yeah, it's more complex, it costs more, but it means you don't have all your eggs in one basket. Next, failover licensing agreements. Now, vendors might not love this idea because it reduces their leverage, but it's a vital safety net. Third, having on-premises fallbacks. Sure, it might cut into the cost savings of the cloud, but you can think of it as critical insurance. And last but not least, proactive subscription management. Sounds simple, right? But it takes some serious organizational discipline to pull off. And getting proactive isn't just a mindset. It means having a rock-solid system. We're talking about things like automated alerts that ping you months in advance, having one central team that handles all the critical stuff so nothing slips through the cracks, building in backup procedures for payments, and even having an emergency budget ready to go. It's all about turning what could be a national crisis into, well, a manageable administrative task. But here's the thing. This can't just be about what individual organizations do. If we really want to secure our national infrastructure, we have to think bigger. We need changes across the entire system. A huge piece of that puzzle is something called the Zero Trust Security Model. So what is that? Well, think of it like a super high security building. It doesn't matter who you are or what your title is, you have to prove your identity at every single door, every single time. The whole idea is to stop trusting blindly and start verifying constantly. So what does this bigger path forward look like? Well, as you can see, it starts with adopting those zero trust models everywhere. Then you've got to conduct regular audits, not just checking boxes, but really stress testing your defenses and your fallback plans. And finally, and this is so important, collaboration. We need government and industry talking to each other, sharing information so everyone can learn and get stronger together. And all of this brings us to one final, and maybe the most important question of all. When our critical infrastructure is this exposed, is keeping it resilient just a private company's job? Or is it a genuine national security imperative? That's the core question we all need to be asking. Thanks so much for joining us for this series.